everybody, my name is Hope and welcome back to my channel. I like musicals, they're a part of my life, and today we're going to be talking about the Mamma Mia open call. Now, if you didn't know, over the past week there was a Mamma Mia open West End call. If you don't know what an open call is, it's essentially where anyone and everyone can come and audition for a show, which obviously people were very excited about. But some things just weren't anticipated, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, let's get into it.
But before I get into this video, remember that you can like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you can get notified every time I upload, which is particularly every Sunday, but sometimes extra days in the week as well. Apparently over 90% of my viewership is not actually subscribed, so what are you doing? Subscribe right now. I'm just joking, you don't have to do that. But also remember, you can follow me on all my social medias, which is HopeWilsonX on Instagram, Hope Wilson with 2 N's and an underscore on Twitter, and Hope Wilson45 on TikTok. But with all that, let's get back into the video.
So, the Mamma Mia open call, what happened? Has this got darker for some reason? Hold on, I think it's got darker. Bear with me 1 second. I don't think that's any better, but oh well. What happened? A lot of people turned up. And when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. So on the first day of auditions, which was meant to be the only day of auditions, around 5,000 people turned up to this open call audition. 5,000. 5,000. That's more than the theatre can hold. Like, that's like 5 theatres of people turned up to audition for the show, which is absolutely crazy to me. Unsurprising, but crazy. And obviously, because 5,000 people turned up, obviously not all of them were going to be seen. So in the first day of auditions, they ended up seeing 2,000 people, which meant 3,000-ish people, maybe more, maybe less, didn't get seen. And you may be thinking, yeah, isn't that just how it works? Yes it is, unfortunately. It's first come, first served. But A, that's a crazy amount of people to turn up. And B, it's not like these people showing up late. So there are multiple sources saying that they showed up an hour and a half before registration, so before they could even register to audition, not even starting auditions, and they didn't get seen. So they arrived at probably around 8 o'clock, I'm not entirely sure, and waited around for over 8 hours to not get seen. And the big issue with it was that these people were waiting around in the rain and it was cold, and they were given no information on how far they were going to get, if they were going to get seen, until about 7 to 8 hours in. Now, while there were some people that were saying, you're probably not going to get seen, but we're not sure, some people just left the queue, but a lot didn't, and that was the problem. While I think Mamma Mia probably anticipated quite a lot of people turning up because of obviously the pandemic and everything that happened, and the fact that so many people have been left unemployed in the theatre industry recently, I don't think they were anticipating this many, and that kind of led to their downfall. But what ended up happening was they essentially set up a second day later in the week for people that possibly didn't get the chance to get seen on the first day. And when I tell you, because of those people's experiences for that first audition, people were coming early. I saw a TikTok, right? And they turned up at 2:30 in the morning. They were there. And then one of the first 10 in the queue, which means 10 people left their houses at like 2 in the morning to wait in a queue for like 8 hours before anything even started. Do you understand what I mean? Like, that is crazy to me. The amount of dedication that some people have, I honestly applaud it. Like, I applaud it. Here's the applause for you, because holy crap. How are you not exhausted? How are you not freezing? If you want to know something about me, I'm always cold, so I'm not going out at 2. It's freezing. No heating, no light. It's scary out there, bro. Scary. But people were turning up early because they wanted to get seen. And I will just say, they did improve for the second day. They had a sticker system in which if you had a sticker, you were definitely going to get seen. And also they had people like monitoring the queues, like stood outside or whatever, doing something. I don't know. Makes it safer, I guess. Because obviously you have to think that because so many people turned up in this queue was wrapping around the building and down the street and obviously blocking a lot of like people's way, and like it's just kind of a risk having that many people in such a small area. But honestly, the whole thing is just crazy to me. Like, do I think Mamma Mia are at fault? Partially, because I think they should have anticipated more people coming than what did. And I obviously understand the frustrations of the performers, because most of them were like literally sat on the floor for like 8 hours to then just have to go home, and I've just wasted a day waiting in a queue. But like, I just don't know how to feel about it. Do you know what I mean? Because because I feel like at this point in time, like, performers have definitely been ran through the ringer. Is that the right saying? I don't know. But basically, they've not been treated very nicely by a lot of people, namely people I've talked about, but not just people I've talked about, just in general, like, conditions for performers, both auditioning and in shows, hasn't been probably as good as it should be. I feel like performers are very overlooked in the sense of, like, they put up with a lot to do this job. It's not just you come to work, you do a bit of work that's a bit like, yeah, whatever, and then go home. Like, these people are turning up early, then they have to warm up their body and their voice, then they have to act full out every day for people's entertainment, and then go home with probably not as much recognition as they should. And I'm not saying it's just cast, it's crew as well, but you know, there's been many instances of racism and discrimination within theatre, and just general safeguarding of people that really should be taken more care of. And I think this kind of thing kind of proves how dedicated performers are and how not necessarily misrepresented, but like misjudged they are. People say this isn't a real job. It is a real job, and people are probably putting in more effort than most people to do this, you know? Which is why this Mamma Mia open call is just crazy to me. Like, I feel for these people. These people want a performing job, and it just shows that 5,000 people of however many unemployed performers that there are willing to work and put in the work for this kind of thing. Another probably disappointing factor of this is that typically open casting calls are for publicity to like resurge the talk of a musical on stage. And obviously that was kind of at the detriment to the people that turned up who wanted a shot. And this isn't always the case. Like, I saw people did get recalls from this, but obviously you have to consider that people who have agents and things will also be getting auditions and auditioning for these shows. It's not just the open casting call and that's it. They have a lot of other venues that they can go down. And open casting calls obviously don't necessarily bring the best of the best to your audition. I'm not saying that people that go to open casting calls are untalented, because they're probably definitely not. But you may have the star of your show and you might turn them away because they are too far down in the queue. For example, Sam Tutty, who is Dear Evan Hansen in the West End production of Dear Evan Hansen, which is closing, by the way. Shocked, absolutely shocked. He actually went to the open call of Dear Evan Hansen and got turned away because he was too far down in the queue, and it wasn't until he was booked with his agent that he got the role. So you just don't know, like, what is going to happen with an open call, because it could bring you your star or it could not. You just don't know. And am I saying that open calls shouldn't exist? No, because I think open calls are a great opportunity for those who don't necessarily have the means to get agents and get training and that kind of thing. And there are so many good things about open calls, but I just think that especially huge West End shows like Mamma Mia should really take some consideration into the organisation of these kind of things. Maybe have an online registration, the first 2,000 people, for example, on the online registration, so that people that maybe wouldn't get seen and have travelled a long way won't have to do that travel, because they will know if they have or haven't got an audition, for example. Like, I saw one girl and she said she travelled from Portugal to get seen and didn't get seen. And I'm like, that feels like a very avoidable circumstance. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, it's done now, and I think it's gonna send a message to all the shows in being like, treat your performers better, don't make them sit through these things, and do better next time. I think that's the main takeaway from this. Learn from your mistakes, which it looks like they did improve, but maybe just think about it a bit more. But I think that's all I have to say. What do you think? Comment down below. Were you at the open call? I wasn't. I'm very glad I wasn't. But what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? I'm very open to people voicing their opinion, even if sometimes people don't say it very nicely. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this. That wasn't English. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like it, subscribe if you feel like it. Follow me at all my social medias, which will be just here. Leave your comments down below on literally whatever. If you are first, congratulations. And I will see you in the next one.